shit crazy. Smoke to get my mind right. Chillin', trying to get my grind right. Fight for spit. Smoke just to chill. Waiting on the press.
What's up, guys? Sergeant G here from the Stone Vet USMC. Happy Friday, guys.
It's not Friday.
It is. Well, I mean,
it's
Tuesday, but it's Friday on the show. You guys are hanging out with me on a Friday. It's Tuesday now. I got Lynda here.
Wait a second. Can we start this over?
How you want to do it?
I forgot that it was supposed to be airing on Friday. I thought you were airing this today.
No, not today.
Shit. Started. I'm so sorry, guys.
You're good.
Fucked it up.
I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, Raffle 180. Like I tell you guys, if you're ever looking for medicinal grade CBD, man, go over to raffle180.com. Best CBD processed in the only FDA regulated lab in the Midwest. You can't go wrong, and it's 100% THC free for you guys that can't have THC. I feel sorry for you guys.
I feel so bad for you guys.
I've been there for a year now, and it sucks not having my medicine. I tell you what, man. Like I said, always don't forget to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on iTunes, I guess there's a 5-star review you can leave me.
Do it.
I'm not sure. Leave that 5-star review and come hang out, man. I got Lynda Steele. Lovely Lynda Steele. She's here with me again. She's giving me a second opportunity.
I had to give you like a better. I mean, that first one. If you guys watched it,
was horrible. It
was so bad.
The audio sucked. My microphone screwed on me.
We forced something.
That's
you know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
It was like we didn't have the time. We made the time. I was getting out of a cold. I was coming through some stuff. And I'm just like curled up in your corner, and I'm like, "Yep, I furnish houses." You know?
Right.
And you have all this energy, and I'm just like, I help parents.
You're right.
So I did you guys a disjustice. I did the Stone Vet a disjustice. I wanted to come back.
And like I said, she's an entrepreneur. She has her own nonprofit. So you guys know that are entrepreneurs. You guys understand how hard it is to get somebody scheduled in. You guys are 90 to nothing all day, every day, 7 days a week, right? You're in the suck, just doing what you got to do in order to provide for who you're providing for, whether it's your family, your organization, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you believe in what you do.
You believe in what you do, and
it drains the
you
crap
already
out of
believe. You already believe nobody's gonna love it as much as you love it because you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
You know? You're like, I can't give this to somebody else to do because they're not gonna do it with the passion that I'm gonna do it with.
Yeah, and you're still figuring it out. It feels like every day you're just a new obstacle, a new lesson, a new hurdle, a new way of doing something, and then they're like, "Oh, did you promote it recently?" And I was like, "No."
No, I didn't promote it because you have to have a team. I mean, even with the Stone Vet, how do I promote the show? How do I go about doing it? I try to do TikTok. Like I said, we are busy as hell in order for me to cut a video.
It takes so much
sometimes
time
I
to do a video.
Sometimes I remember when I'm editing. Oh, I got to do a TikTok so I can. And I don't get one out every week. I always forget because, like I said, sometimes it's last minute. It'll be freaking, these episodes come out Friday morning at midnight. It'll be fucking 11 o'clock Thursday night. Like, fuck, I gotta edit that video.
Yeah.
I'm getting the edit out. I'm freaking getting it all, everything transferred over. Like I said, it's last minute. Like,
hey, at least you're able to like get it to a Friday. You
right.
know, everything in my life right now is immediate. I'm like, wait, you're giving yourself 3 more days? Like right now, I've done everything immediately. My podcast happens on a Monday. It drops on a Monday. I get here on a Monday. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And I'm like, what is this world you live in, where you have time to edit?
And it's tough, guys.
Teach me your ways.
Right? No, it's crazy. It's crazy tough. I mean, with you guys there, I mean, you guys understand. If you guys are entrepreneurs or if you guys are hanging out, man, I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us, regardless if it's Tuesday or if it's Friday or whatever the hell you get an opportunity to listen to my show, man. This is my therapy. This is my therapy session. My counselor recently retired. She's like 80 plus years old. It was time for her to retire.
Yeah.
But she was a great counselor.
Damn.
And it's hard for
awesome.
us veterans. It's hard to find somebody to open up to because it's like you open up to them, you tell them everything that's wrong with you, and then they get a new job.
All you've ever done is seen a brick wall.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Wall. And I talked to my dad. My dad's he's a retired Army reservist. He
was
National Guard. He was a reservist.
He gets the
95th or whatever the hell they
45th?
were. 45th or whatever. I don't know who the fuck he retired years
Just a
ago.
decorated IBCT, but that's okay.
And so he
fought in every major war. That's okay.
he retired, and I was talking. I try to keep a relationship with him. I try to go to lunch with him once, at least once a week. Go to lunch with him because he went to Afghanistan and he's seen shit and he did shit. And he deals with a lot of demons, And I told him, I said, you gotta see a counselor. He said, why? He said, well, I'm gonna tell them what the fuck I'm dealing with, and they're gonna laugh at me, and then what? I'm like,
they're just gonna tell me I'm dealing with it. Yeah, I fucking know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah. And I was like, and I understand that. You know, I see a counselor. I'm currently seeing a marriage counselor right now too.
Yeah.
I've been with my wife for 21 years.
Wow.
Counseling's good to help because I'm a fuck up.
Yeah.
I piss her off all the time, and I'm just. She tells me I'm bipolar because I'll go from fucking being cool as fuck one minute and then raging psychotic the next minute, just the drop of a pin.
Yeah.
My attitude, my fucking, just who I am. I haven't had medicine in a year.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah. You're going through a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to
Yeah.
take on, you know, and I'm trying to get out of the job where I'm at now, and I can't leave. Like I told you, I got 9 years left and I can retire.
Mm-hmm.
And so I gotta fucking strive it out. I'm on this probation for 2 years. I'm about to hit a year mark, and this November will be a year. So I got a whole nother year of this shit that I gotta deal with without my medicine. That's why I'm trying to find a new job.
What a sentence.
Trying to find a new job so I can get my
Yeah.
medicine back, you know? And it just fucking, it sucks, dude. But I was like, well, it's like, we gotta figure something out. 'Cause we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
21 years we've been through a
You're not giving
lot of
up.
shit. No,
Not
we're
giving in.
I got 7
Yeah.
kids and I
Yeah.
got a lot of shit going on, you know? And so I was like, let's go see a counselor. She's like, you have to want to see it. I said, if this is what you want for us, that's part of being a couple.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want? What do you need from me in order for us to make this work? Because like you, I mean, you've been through, how many times you've been married?
You know. 3.
3 times. And a lot of you guys listen to the show.
I mean, I'm in the military. That's
You're
pretty
veteran,
normal.
right? For us,
you
for our
being in the
convenience.
military and being married for 21 years is weird.
Yeah,
because
no
all my
shit.
friends have at least 3 marriages.
Right?
Okay, so
No, and you're absolutely right. A lot of you guys listen to this show. You guys are like, man, I'm on my 4th one. I'm on
Yeah.
my 5th one. I'm, you know,
yeah,
and whatever it is.
all my friends are on their 3rd. What are you talking about? It's 2021.
You know? And that's the thing. It's like, I've been with my wife since I was 16. 16, 17 years old. I've been with my wife. And
that's amazing.
it's crazy,
That
right?
is crazy
It's
amazing.
crazy amazing, right? I've been blessed beyond all measure. Like, I don't deserve
I have so many
her.
questions for her.
You know, yeah, no shit. I mean, I tell her, I say, I don't know how you deal with this shit that I put you through, especially being in the Marine Corps. I
Yeah.
got married to her, so
Marines are the worst.
I met, yeah, no shit. I met her when I was going to, I don't know, you familiar with Thunderbird here? Thunderbird Youth Academy?
That's where my husband went to Thunderbird Youth Academy.
That's where I went.
Shut up.
Yeah, I went to Thunderbird Youth Academy.
That's where my husband went.
What year he go?
Later than you.
Later than, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. She's still a baby. She's
Like,
still young. She's still
Yeah, we enlisted in 08, so he was probably there between 06
Oh, yeah,
to
what happened?
07, maybe
I
05
already
to...
got out of the Marine Corps at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
I was
It's
getting
like-
out of the Marine Corps at that time.
You don't want me to
No.
say this on camera.
Yeah, I went in 99, 2000.
I was like 8.
So that's when I went. I went to Thunderbird.
I was a baby 3rd grader.
You know, I went to Thunderbird, and that's when I met her. It was on one of my leaves, one of my weekend vacations that I got. I came back home. It was like a weekend, and I met her like on a Saturday.
What?
And yeah, no shit. I met her on a Saturday, and then we just kept talking while she kept writing me letters while I was in Thunderbird. Because I was there, it was like March was when I met her, and I didn't graduate till June. And I didn't have no more vacation time. So we talked, we wrote letters all the time, and then when I got out, that's when we met. And actually, the funny story is that I tried to meet her years ago, because come to find out, one of my good friends, it's his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she came to town, I was like, let me meet her. He's like, no, you ain't meeting her. You ain't meeting her. You ain't meeting her. And I grew up with him. I grew up with him since I was 6.
So what I'm learning right now,
It's
if you guys
crazy.
don't know, like the Thunderbird Youth Academy, it's for bad boys, right? Ones that are making bad decisions.
People who don't want to go to high school.
I totally understand what your wife is going through right now.
Mhm.
I'm attracted to bad boys as well. My husband went to the Thunderbird Youth Academy. He's an amazing man who is so hard to handle sometimes.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah,
It is. It's
but
hard, you know?
I understand going to counseling and what you fight for in that relationship, because I have been through 2 marriages that weren't worth fighting for, right?
But you just know. You just know.
Yeah.
You just know.
And
If it's
it
not
was
worth-
never a bad thing.
Yeah.
It was a lesson.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of
It's a
how I
life
look at
lesson.
my divorces, is some pretty crazy lessons.
It is. They are.
Who gets married at 18 to somebody that they knew for 2 months? Well, you did. But, like, I married an addict and it didn't go well, and so we went through a divorce a year later.
But I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting
No.
a divorce. There's nothing wrong with getting a divorce or not having the same
But there
understanding.
is something wrong with giving up.
Giving up, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when you give up and you're just like, I'm giving up, then that's the biggest struggle. I mean, especially for veterans. I mean, not only just is it a relationship, but life in general. When you say, I give up, I'm not doing this no more. What is it? What was your drive? What was your purpose? Like, why are you giving up?
Yeah.
And that's I hate it. I hate it when I open up Facebook or TikTok or whatever the hell social media platform you get on, and it's like, I had a brother kill himself last night. I had a sister take her own life.
Yeah.
The other day it was a female that took her life. I was like, it's rare. Women usually don't, but I mean they do.
I just don't
but they're
think
not
we
as
talk
high.
about
or
it.
maybe it's not talked about as much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because women go through a fuck ton. You
Y'all
guys go
think-
through so much.
And, women have this stigma of, like, women talk a lot, blah, blah, blah. We talk? Yes, we do talk a lot, just as much as men do. But I think we are just as quiet about our internal emotional feelings, those ones that hurt us, the ones that are mean to us. Like, what I've been talking to a lot of people about in my day-to-day is, like, y'all don't realize this, but you see me furnishing these houses. You see me, trying to do all this good in the world and help these parents, but I have this little mean voice that lives inside of me who tells me how terrible I am.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think we all do.
We
all
do.
Have that,
we all have
know?
that. And I think we don't talk about it.
Right.
Until you see those effects of just somebody who's only learned to listen to that mean voice inside of them. You see that effect in addiction, suicide, homelessness, giving up.
Right.
That's what that is. And I found it. I found that mean voice inside of me that was being awful.
Right.
And then I also found one that was quieter who was like, no, you got this. I don't know how you got this. I don't know what you're going to do. But that guy's wrong,
Right.
And that's what fighting for anything is
Right.
coming to that reality that it's worth fighting for.
Absolutely.
My husband recently started counseling, and it's been an amazing effect on me.
Right.
Because now he is able to not be full of anxiety, which is causing him to stress and not be in an environment that he doesn't want to be in and nobody to talk to.
Right.
Because he has a job he doesn't like either, that infringes on him being able to do a lot he wants.
Right.
He's still in the military.
He's still the National Guard.
Yes, and he's a full-time federal technician with the Guard, so he has to abide by those rules.
And regulations and all that shit as well. Yeah.
And him going to counseling has helped us be able to talk.
And that's the biggest thing, what I'm saying. It's like I was telling Lynda earlier. I said my dad does the counseling thing. He don't want to do counseling because he's like, why the fuck am I going to tell somebody my problems? Why are they just going to laugh at me or say not to worry about it or what? And it's
Tell
true.
me what I already
it's
know.
hard. It's hard. It's hard trying to find it's hard to find a good counselor. It very much is hard to find a good counselor.
And
but
then
when you
learn
do,
to trust them.
then you got to trust them, right? And that's
Yeah.
us as veterans, we
barely trust our neighbors,
right?
We
No shit.
don't tell them anything,
right? We don't say anything. We say to ourselves, and we just say, "No, fuck you guys,"
Yeah.
But it is hard. But that's one thing I do. I do recommend. I always recommend. Hey, go and try to find a counselor, because a lot of shit you just got to get it off your chest. You got to figure out who you are as a person. What am I? What am I doing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I? Am I doing what I want to do? Or am I doing what they're telling me to do?
Yeah.
In being in the military, that's one of the things was always hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. Now you're not in the military no more. What are you waiting on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. What are you waiting on? Why are you still waiting?
Yeah.
What are you doing to pursue yourselves? And like Lynda, she quit waiting, dude.
I quit waiting.
She quit waiting.
She started doing.
She's doing, and she's created a fucking app that will fucking save your ass.
Yeah, so life's full of lessons, right?
Right.
And those lessons taught me is nobody cares about your rights.
Nobody cares about your rights.
Everywhere you go as a person, as a human being, if you go to the service and you join the military and you sign a contract, that is for the government to protect their rights.
Right.
Of how they're allowed to treat me.
Right.
And when I don't want to be treated that way, and that we have policies that say you can't treat me that way, it's like there's an entire army protecting these policies. And there's only one little me,
right.
And I'm over here like, but I didn't want you to say that you were going to have sex with me, Sergeant, but I wasn't okay, but why are you mad that I went to these people and was like, I didn't want to, and, like, I'm uncomfortable, like, why am I getting all of the blame, why are you protecting these policies?
Right.
And I got out of the military and I was working with diesel mechanics and I had a salary job and I signed over the papers as an employee and I'm going to represent these rules. I was like, wow, it's another contract.
Right.
Except for this job isn't asking me for my time. They're asking me to respect their rules to have this job. But what happens if they don't respect me? I'm just my own person.
Right.
So now I'm like, hey, sir, you didn't respect these rules. You wrote me up, but I was on my lunch break and everything was fine. And now I'm confrontational. So I was like, screw this. I'm done telling people who are okay with disrespecting me.
Right.
I'm going to make a whole ass app and learn how to protect my own rights.
No, absolutely. And you guys got to be on the lookout for this app she's got, this Civil Rights Matter. What are your civil rights? Do you even know what your civil rights are?
Do you even know? It's the only good thing that the Army taught me to do, was to understand what policies governed me. I know where to go find the policy that says how I can wear my hair.
Right.
But I don't know where to go find the policy that says that cop cannot come search my vehicle or can search my vehicle. Nobody told me what my rights were.
Right.
He just came over to my car and was like, no, I'm here and I'm a police officer and I got the shiny badge and I have this reason, so I'm going to.
Right.
But do you know what your rights are?
Absolutely.
No.
So you got this amazing app that's gonna have all this information and it's documenting all this because a lot of us, what the fuck are our civil rights? What do we know? We're just living here. We just do our job.
What are your civil rights when you drive down that road?
Right. What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do? None of us know.
And it changes.
Yeah, it changes.
In every environment, what are you allowed to do at work? Now we have a whole organization called the Department of Human Services that tells you what you could do in your home.
Right.
What? Okay, well, so what can I do? Or what are you not supposed to be doing that you're doing to me?
Right.
And that's what I started asking myself is, what is this organization doing that I'm supposed to be okay with?
Right.
Because I'm not okay with you coming in and telling me how I will or will not spank my children.
Right.
And I'm not okay with you taking my children or disemploying me from a job, I'm not okay with that, and I'm going to protect that.
Right.
I'm not confrontational. I just think my civil rights matter, and I'm not going to roll over dead and let you just force me to quit smoking medical marijuana with my card, or tell me how I'm going to discipline my children, or why I can't be in my kids' life.
Right.
But I have nowhere in this world to document that.
To document it, to show it.
To keep it. Yeah. And the only people who can help me are attorneys. And they're going to charge me an arm and a leg to review. Why can't I not just do this?
Right.
Now we can.
With this app she's creating,
yes.
You're providing a way to be able to annotate it and document it yourself.
On behalf of yourself. And that's not to be confrontational. But if you want me to respect your rules and policies, sir, respect my fucking rights. I have no problem respecting your rules and policies and showing up in uniform and walking through the door at 6 o'clock in the morning. Don't fucking touch my ass. We're gonna live mutually in that ground.
Right.
And if I document telling you that, and we go through the proper channels of your policies, and you do it again, their policies aren't working to your next level of chain of command, sir.
Right.
So how about we just start treating each other equally and fairly, or we give ourselves the option to document when that's not happening, because we're not crazy people. This happens every day. There's entire movements of dads wanting more rights, black people wanting to be treated equally, indigenous people not wanting to be murdered, and, the females not wanting to experience sexism.
Right.
We're all saying the same things. Hey, I want my civil rights to be respected when I go to work, when I go to court, when I spend time with my kids.
Right.
And until we have an opportunity to show that that's not happening, we only have people who say, well, that didn't happen because the policy said.
Right.
And now we're all angry. Because we know we're being mistreated and nobody can see it.
Right.
I want to make it visual. What is happening to fathers who want equal time is the same thing that's happening to black people who don't want to be shot by police for no reason, which is the same thing that's happening to women who don't want their ass grabbed for no reason. I have no way to show that my civil rights are being impeded on because there's nowhere to document it.
Right.
That's what I want to create for people.
And so with this app, this freaking
you can
app,
document a workplace bias. parental rights, racial discrimination, sexual orientation discrimination. What you're experiencing is discrimination. Doesn't matter if it's because of your race, color, gender, parental role. Doesn't matter. It is discrimination. It is somebody looking at you and saying, the policy said I can treat you this way, so deal with it. And then it's you standing over there saying, I have a constitution and a civil right to say, go fuck yourself. I'm not going to be treated that way. And the policy states that you're not going to treat me that way. And because I've documented you treating me this way, we can either go to court or you can get right. Where are we going? That's it.
You see, guys, this is what happens when you serve in the military for some time. Like she said.
That's what the military
That's
taught
what they
me.
taught you is, what is your policy? What does the guidance say about this?
Yes.
And a lot, like I said, how many of y'all know your civil rights? What do you know as an American? What is your civil rights?
You could go down to Barnes and Nobles right now, go buy the Constitution for $5, a pocket Constitution. I've literally highlighted mine to show all of the different ways it was discriminatory, right? Don't govern me with your policies that were wrote in forms of discrimination, okay? And I know it was. Here it is. You want to protect it? How about you protect it for all people?
Right.
And so that's what I did.
That's freaking insane. That's insane.
I think just the wrong person got the wrong Article 15 one day. You know, Corporal Steele did not deserve an Article 15 for getting punched in the face by an NCO.
Who is now
an officer. You know, like an officer. You see? Like,
right.
And I got barred from promotion, barred from school, like non-MOS qualified for 5 years. Okay, you know why? Because I jumped chain of command. Bitch, I filed an IG complaint because she punched me in the face and you told me to go to bed. So I went to my next chain of command and they told me, go to bed. Then I went to the next one, but my commander was fucking the private over here. So they told me to go to bed. So I filed an IG complaint and I got an Article 15 for not following chain of command.
Because you didn't go to bed?
Because I didn't have it documented. Because I didn't have it documented. If I would have had it documented that I used my chain of command, I would have had proof.
Right.
Right? And that was what I realized was happening as a person. We've developed the government to have ways of documenting. You sign the paper, I told you. You sign the paper, I counseled you. You sign the paper recognizing that I counseled you even though you didn't agree. You recognize that? Cool, sign it. So then I was like, sign this.
Right.
I did tell you not to touch my ass, right? Okay, cool, sign that.
Right.
And I took a picture of it.
Right.
Hey, I did tell you that I wasn't going to do that, right? And then you said, if I don't, you're going to fire me? Yeah, cool, sign that. And I turned the game around.
Right.
And that's what we need to do as people. We need to come together and say, hey, it's not that I don't see that you're being discriminated against. It's that I believe you, and it's them that's doing it. Right. It's that agency, that policy, that rule. Okay, not that person. That person's an idiot who's protecting those policies. Take them down too.
Right.
Right? But document. Don't get angry.
Right.
Don't scream and yell. Document it. Get even with it. And then that next step we're going to take with our service is we're going to make it to where we own the rights to that data. Because you shouldn't have to pay an attorney to review what's happened to you. You should pay an attorney to do their job, which is to file and represent a motion. Do you pay a plumber to build you a wall?
No.
No. You pay a carpenter to build you a wall. I pay an attorney to represent me in court. Why is this attorney billing me to review my documentation? I didn't pay you to document for me. I did that myself.
Right.
Turn that game around. It's
Absolutely.
time. It's time.
Absolutely. I mean, with the crap that's going on in our country right now, I mean, fucking civil rights are being
violated all the time.
All the time on everything, regardless if it's another black person getting shot or another police brutality or whatever the hell it is.
Another female being raped in the military.
Another female being raped in the military, or whatever the hell the case may be. It's just like, now you're providing a way for people to annotate it, to document it. Because like you guys know, if you guys are as gung-ho as the majority of us veterans are, we're like, I got to document that shit. I got to make sure that shit is taken care of.
What did the VA teach you?
Documentation,
Document. We learn these skills in the military.
Absolutely.
And that's what I felt was effective in the civilian world was, oh, sweetheart, you just don't know how to document. And nobody taught you how to read your policies. Right. Let's make an app for it.
Let's make an app for it. And this is what Lynda has done. she has found her purpose. This is one of her many purposes that she has after 7.
Yes.
Is allowing people, and this is not just a veteran thing. This is a civilian. This is a
veteran lesson.
A veteran lesson that she's sharing with everybody.
Yeah.
Not just veterans, but civilians, everybody, saying, look, dude, do you understand what your civilian rights are? Do you understand? Are they being violated? Do you know that they're being violated?
Yeah.
And if they are violated, where's the documentation showing that they were violated?
Do you know what you need to document to prove it?
Right?
No.
Not at all.
No, we've just now gotten used to the idea to even record things.
Right.
Know your rights, people. Look it up. Oklahoma is a one-party consent state. I can record you if I want to, whenever I want, unless you tell me no. And I don't have to ask you. That is my civil right. Right? Doesn't make you an asshole for knowing your civil rights. It makes you educated.
Absolutely.
And if you want to impede on my rights, which we're used to, NCOs want to do that all the time.
All the time.
I'm not a dick. I just want you to show me that policy.
Right.
And here's mine.
Thing. And that's how we always are. I mean, that's how we've always been. It's like, where does it say this? Show me where it says it so I have documentation so I can keep it.
Yeah.
You should see my work computer. I got documentation for fucking everything. Like, boom, boom, boom. So people ask me, well, where's this at? Here it is.
Yeah.
And I send it to them. Here it is right here. This is where it states this. Boom, boom, boom. It states this. Paragraph 8, line 3, 4, and 5. This is where it states it.
And civilians are like, no, well, this thing happened on a Tuesday because I remember it because the water main broke at the same time. And don't you remember?
No.
Did you take a picture? Do you have something proving that?
Right. No. And it's true. I mean, being a veteran, though, that's one thing that we were taught, that we were trained, is document it.
Everything.
Document it. And it's like you guys were trying to get your disability claims, or trying to learn. That's what the VA said. Where's the documentation on it? Where's the documentation on it? You're fighting it. Where's the documentation on it, showing it, proving it? Now you're providing them. You're providing that for people to understand. Hey, dude, what are your civil rights?
Yeah.
Is somebody impeding on your civil rights?
Do you want to prove it?
Prove it.
Let's make a timeline.
Let's make a timeline with it, which is great. Man.
It's actually this really. I'll give you guys a little hint about this app. One feature that I'm really excited about right now is, imagine when you open this app, okay, and you have none of your civil rights have been documented, so you just have a black spot, all right. And when you sign in for the first time, it creates a black line, and every time you enter an event, okay, in any of your different folders, a tick mark pops up as a timeline, okay. And depending on what you enter, if it's something that happened or if it's something that is affecting you, it goes to a different side of your timeline. So you can actually see what's happened to you and the effects of it to prove discrimination. And that's the purpose. Discrimination is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Right?
Very much so.
If you prove your civil rights are being impeded on, you have to show the effects of that. The easiest way for me to see that was through fatherhood. Okay? Right. I just want to be a dad that has equal time with my kids. This is what happens every time, and then I go to court and I have less. If you see when that dad started before his divorce, he had a $260,000 home, he had a car, a successful job. He has now sold his home, has no car, has no job. It's a dad I'm working with right now. Has no job, has no car, has no home, has no nothing, and does not have his kids. Is still going through court to finalize his divorce. Every event, there was something that happened to get to this point. He did not go through a divorce and then poof, his house was gone.
Right.
Something happened. You have to know how to document that. You know what it was? The attorney literally said, in order for you to afford this retainer, which is, X amount of dollars, why don't you sell your home? Or else you're not going to be able to go back to court to get more time with your kids, and you're going to have to keep paying this child support order.
Damn.
That's discrimination.
Right.
What? That's normal. Okay? That's normal. Because how do these men document that?
Right.
This attorney's supposed to be working for you, but the one who's working for you told you to sell your house?
So you can keep them on retainer.
Now you're sleeping in your car and you're so stressed out you lost your job of 15 years. Right. Okay? Because this attorney's retainer of $12,000 already has got you nowhere but paying $900 a month in child support.
Right.
And you've never been incarcerated. You've never been a drug addict. You're college educated. Why don't you have equal time with your kids? I don't know. That's why I'm going to court. All of that whole scenario, that's discrimination.
Yeah.
But the only way to prove it is to document it.
showing.
You don't have a leg to stand on to that judge or to that attorney, and all they know are the rights and policies that govern you.
The civil rights, right?
Right. So you're at their mercy. And I'm looking at this whole cycle as an outsider, mind you, because I've never been to court.
Right.
So all the things that happened to that dad didn't happen to me or my ex-husband.
Right.
We never went through court.
Because that's one of the biggest things that you strive for. So not only does Lynda have this app that she's creating, but she also has a nonprofit called A Child's Worth.
Yes.
And furnishing fatherhood. Like this, she's a woman, and you women know how busy and how freaking fast your brains move, and you're
We
always
can do
doing
multiple things
over and over again, right? But that's one of the things. She's been through 3 divorces.
2 divorces.
2 divorces. She's
One
been
happy
through
marriage.
1 happy marriage, 2 divorces. She's still trying to figure it out. She's getting there. She's
Still only 30.
She's still young.
It's 2021,
But
guys.
that's one of the things you're saying, like that. How this guy has to go and sell his house to keep a retainer.
Yep.
But one of the things that you talk about is
How I didn't do that.
you didn't do that. You
No.
didn't pay an attorney to get a divorce to do all this
Right.
nonsense, right?
If you're going through a divorce, there's no law that says you have to get an attorney and go to court. No law that states
Right.
that. That is an assumption
Right,
because we don't think there's any other options.
right,
There are. I've never been to court. My ex-husband has never been homeless. My ex-husband now is a homeowner. My first one, who's a drug addict, is still a drug addict. But I created these resources to show him forgiveness. And he will understand that. You know what I mean? I furnish houses for parents on the side with my other nonprofit. We'll talk about that in a minute. Because the reality is I have one ex-husband who is a drug addict, who, you know, has 5 children by 4 different women, who is your stereotypical labeled deadbeat. I hate that word. We don't use that. But that's how society's labeled him. I don't. That is a young man who was incarcerated at 16, who had 3 last names before he was 18, who didn't know his biological father, who has a failure to launch in his life because of the trauma he experienced as a child. Fuck you for labeling him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not a deadbeat. That man needs to understand that he needs to love himself. And I need him to love himself because we made a child together.
right.
And that child needs him.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
That's why I never went through court. Because court would have looked at him and said, oh, you're a drug addict? Oh, you got 5 kids by 4 different women? Oh, you're a all of these things?
They would have discriminated against him.
They would have. And that's what the courts were there to do. But the problem is, sweetheart, I still got a 10-year-old at home who doesn't care if he's a drug addict,
Right.
who doesn't care that he's failed his life. I need him to pick himself up so my child has an example of a father that can pick himself up.
Right.
Because right now, the only example he has of his biological father is one who's failing himself. So if I could teach my community to not go through court, but to fucking heal,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you guys aren't getting along. You don't have to hate each other for the rest of your life. How about we get you right? Leave each other, fine. Go get right. Let's furnish your house because you got a child back here.
Right.
You got responsibility still. You don't get to go off and be the drug addict you want to be. Let's go heal that trauma you have that's making you go hit that pipe.
Right.
Because your child doesn't get an excuse. And we don't want him to have that trauma.
Right.
The reality is if we went through court, we needed to prove we were being discriminated against. But why are we going through court for things that are our problems
Right.
when we have other options that we're not
you're
talking
paying,
about?
You're paying out the ass for it.
20 grand.
20 grand out of it
To be told no.
to be told no, to already know the answers.
To be told how you're going to parent.
Right.
I don't want to talk to you.
Right. No, absolutely. And I mean, and that's one of the biggest things. I mean, like I said, Lynda's busy. She's a great woman. She's doing a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? She's doing a lot of things. And I mean, like you're saying, like understanding and having that mutual understanding as parents. We're adults. We're
Yes.
parents. Regardless if it's worked with your spouse or with your significant other, whatever the case, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. It's just, I mean, we all have our differences.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. But the person that matters the most is that child.
Mm-hmm.
The child matters the most when it comes to situations like that. You cannot let the child suffer because you and your significant other had a disagreement and
or
just couldn't do it.
justify a trauma
Yeah.
for yourself.
Mm.
Parents, wake up.
Yeah.
If your justification is, well, I kicked him out of the house and he's a drug addict and he's everything else and I do this to protect my child, but the reality is your child gets to grow up and have memories of their own.
Right.
And what is you protecting them now is them also understanding that they went without.
Yeah.
When the reality is we could create organizations that help heal those parents so they can be active parents.
Yeah.
Why are we saying, well, let's just create a system that keeps them absent so that they could pay a child support order and the kid will be fine? The
Right.
kid's not fucking fine.
Right.
They're not fine with the child support order.
No, because like you said, they you know what I'm saying? So one of the spouses, you go to divorce, when you have a divorce and you have an attorney, somebody's being discriminated against.
Yes.
Whether it's the husband or it's the wife, either one, somebody's being discriminated against because they're fighting for you to have the rights of your child,
Yes.
which is
You
not your
proving-
decision.
yeah.
It's not your decision. What's the best rights? What's the civil rights for your child, right?
And they have
The
none.
civil rights, right? What is their rights?
Yeah, children have no civil rights.
You see,
They are of custody of their parents.
their parents, right?
So the moment we divide that parental role and say no, only one parent can have custody at a time, that should be discriminating against the child.
Right.
Why is that child not going to say so, right? And then you go into the whole legal argument.
And all the bullshit.
But
that
the
comes
reality
along.
is if we never went to court, we would have never opened up a can of worms to that battle.
Right. That other people that don't have
And if you're
give a
going-
fuck what's going on in your
And
life.
if you're going to use court as a way to hold another parent down, that is discrimination.
Right.
If that's your only reason, if you can use court as a way to keep a parent out of a child's life, and they're not a bad parent, and they haven't been incarcerated, and they're not a domestic violence, and they're not any of those things, but you know you can go to court to fight this parent who wants equal time with their kids for no other reason than you don't want to give it to them, you gotta have discrimination in order to do that.
Absolutely.
Now we have the tools to document it.
Now we have the tools to document because a lot of it is nonsense. Like I said, man, you're paying a lot. I mean, go to court, you're paying a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
You got to pay a lot of money to the attorneys, to and it gets ugly, it gets messy, especially if you came up with money and you got all this money and this house, these cars, and all that. It gets ugly. You know what I'm saying? And who's suffering from it? It's not the parents ain't suffering. It's the
judge
kids.
ain't suffering.
The judge ain't suffering. The
The
attorneys
attorney
ain't
ain't suffering. Just your kids.
It's the children that are suffering because now they're like, why the hell do my parents not want to work together? Why do they not want to?
Well,
take
not
care of
only
us,
they
you
don't
know?
want to work together, now they're fighting. Now they don't get to see one of their parents. Now they have less things inside their house than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have less opportunity. Like, there is a whole array of emotions that are
A
happening
whole
over.
bunch.
And you just think going to court and getting this piece of paper is going to just make these emotions better?
No, not at all.
That's how childhood trauma is created.
You know,
You know?
absolutely.
You know that shit we're suffering from as parents now?
now, right?
You're like, let's not do that to our kids again.
Right, it's a trend, right? It can be
It
a
is,
trend. It
it's
can
a
be a trend.
cycle.
It's a cycle. If you keep doing it, how are you breaking your cycle? I mean, how many of you guys came from a broken home? I mean, I came from a broken home.
Raise your hand.
I've came from a broken
Yeah.
home, and you know what I'm saying, my wife came from a broken home, and that's one of the things. I mean, that's what we're trying to show our children.
Yeah.
We're both from broken homes,
Same.
but we're still together. After 21 years, we're still together, and we're still trying to figure this shit out because
You're not going to break your kids.
I'm not gonna break. I don't want my kids to suffer the shit that I went through.
Yes.
We're breaking the cycle, right? It's a cycle.
Yes.
If you don't get out of
And
that
it's
fucking
hard.
cycle, it's hard as hell.
Yeah.
It's hard as hell.
I see why they broke the cycle. I see why my parents failed. Like,
Right?
It takes some endurance.
It takes a lot of work. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Now people are like, well, it's 50-50. I said, no, motherfucker, it's 100-100. You have to put
Yeah.
100% into a relationship.
And that doesn't change when you go through a divorce. If you have kids, you never stop putting in 100%.
No.
And if you do, there should be organizations out there like mine to pick you back up and say, hey man, you are so damn appreciated.
Right.
And you are so damn important, so damn needed for your kids. I'm going to feed you today. I'm going to furnish your house. I'm going to make sure you can get right because you got kids.
Absolutely.
And that's that simple.
No.
We don't tell that to our men enough.
Right.
Bro, it's not okay for you to sit back and start doing drugs.
Right.
It's just simply not.
Right.
You know, and I feel like maybe being that first female in the artillery prepared me for that. You know, because I remember chasing, I'm just going to get honest with you for a second. If you've been in the military, you know what I'm talking about anyways. And if you're a civilian, let's pull that cloak around from your eyes. We're not all heroes, okay?
No shit.
We're also human beings. And, you know, my first experience in the artillery was like picking up my shoe and being like, get that fucking hooker out of this armory. You know what I mean? Like, you're married. You quit. You quit. We're not doing that. You take that female back to the bar. We're done.
Right.
We're not bringing her home. And still be able to love and respect each other. You know, because we had to work together on the gun line.
Right.
I didn't lose my respect because this dude couldn't quit cheating on his wife.
Right.
But I did learn that it was my responsibility to hold you accountable, because people still matter even when they're not around.
Right.
And I didn't want to be treated like that as a female. And so I needed to kind of help these men understand, like, you're not going to treat your wife like that either.
Right.
And through that lesson, I think it kind of taught me how to stand up. You know, it kind of taught me to say, look, it's very uncomfortable to tell you this right now, but I'm not going to let you cheat on your wife in the room next to me. That's just weird. We have to go to family day together. Can you not do that? You know? And it gives you that confidence when you go into the civilian world to be like, hey, you're not going to bite my head off right now, okay? Because I wasn't 10 minutes early to work or whatever. I missed the staff meeting.
Right.
I missed the staff meeting. You're right. I did that. Write me up. Go fucking belittle somebody else, though, because I'm not taking it.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's treating people in a way of holding each other accountable. Not to post about it on social media and be like, I'm a huge feminist that just made men quit fucking around on their wives. You know?
Right.
I'm not that person. I believe in morals.
Yeah.
And I just think that you should uphold those.
Right.
And if you're not, don't govern me. You know?
Don't govern me.
Don't govern me if you can't hold up your morals.
Right.
We're not the same.
No, absolutely.
And that, if that is never respected or documented or available, then I will have to keep accepting those people.
No shit.
Because
right?
nobody's holding them accountable.
No shit.
So yeah, I guess I'm the stubborn asshole in the room that was like, fine, you can treat me like shit after you sign this paper saying you treated me like shit. If you're not going to change, I'm not going to change either. So let's just document.
Just document it. Just
Yeah.
get it going.
You keep being an asshole. I'll keep documenting you as an asshole, and we'll go through our day and we'll see who wins.
And you're gonna win because you got it all documented now, right?
Right. That's the winner.
That's crazy. That's
The government wins because they document us.
Right.
Let's start winning.
And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And like Lynda's saying, I mean, being a parent's hard, dude. Like when you're a parent, now you have on more responsibilities.
Yeah.
Now it's not just you. Now you got to take care of these little lives.
Well, it seems like everybody has more rights to them than you do.
Right.
The school has more rights than you do.
Yeah.
The school can now hold our kids back without the consent of their parents. Okay? Like, the doctors have more say-so than you do.
Ain't it crazy?
The judges have more say-so than we do. DHS workers have more say-so than we do.
On your own kids.
On my own kids. Did I produce these children for the state? What's happening?
Right. What happened?
But nobody will believe me. Because how do I document
right?
that?
Absolutely. And so, I mean, with the Child's Worth, your nonprofit at Child's Worth, that's one of the biggest things is you're showing parents how much appreciated they are because nobody, like you said, there's nobody out there saying thank you for being a parent.
Yeah.
Thank you for being that mom or being that dad.
Or doing something, showing it.
Showing them appreciation for you being a parent. Because, I mean, it's hard fucking work.
It is.
When you got them
and it's lonely.
It's lonely, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a
These
single
kids are
parent.
always talking back. Nobody understands you. You're not allowed to spank them anymore. And everybody has more say-so than you. And you're just sitting back like, can you just not fuck up my day today? You know?
Right?
Can I get a thank you from somebody?
Right?
Yeah.
And it's so much. I mean, if you guys got kids, you guys know how much of a fuck. If they're teenagers, you know how much of a fucking headache a teenager can be right now. You're just like, motherfucker, dude, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Talk to me like that again, you know? But it's just different things like that. With your organization, that's what I've been following your organization. You're doing now. You're taking lunches to parents that are just like, you know, because I mean, some of us are less fortunate. A lot of us some of us don't make a buttload of money where we can go and get lunch for the day, or a bill came out of nowhere and now we got to pay this freaking $400 bill that we never even knew existed.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, son of a bitch, how am I going to make this, or I'm going to pay that? And
or your child support order, is super high, or you're going through a divorce. You can be a successful person and go through a divorce and not realize, like, 48% of your paycheck is going to child support.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if you're making $100,000 a year. 50% of that, bro, is gone. And then after that, you got taxes on top of that. Like, You're living on $36,000 a year, expected to make up 50, $100,000.
Right.
You don't get it.
Yeah.
And so parent appreciation was started out of the notion of like, you're going to have to sacrifice as a parent.
Yeah.
Because it seems like everybody expects it of you.
Right.
With little in return.
Right. Right.
The least I could do is give you a lunch and say thank you.
Right.
Because I do know when you go to work, your boss is going to care about you coming in on time, doing your job, taking their bullshit, and trying to afford lunch when you're going through a divorce.
No shit.
Or have a ridiculously high child support order, or, I don't know, got a speeding ticket, just been a human.
Yeah.
Right? Least we could do is make sure you don't starve today.
Yeah.
And maybe if we make sure you don't starve, you'll understand that you're valued and you're worth, and maybe you won't give up either.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where it starts. It doesn't matter if it's veteran suicide. We found a way to appreciate veterans.
Right.
We got friends. Those friends are always doing outreach programs.
Always.
Look at Kyle Early, right?
Right.
I mean, the dude cares about our mental health.
Right.
But nobody's targeting us as parents.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if you're a veteran parent, a black parent, a Mexican parent, an immigrant parent, a gay parent. Like, I don't care.
It don't matter. You're a parent. Like,
you got kids looking up to you.
Right.
You have a responsibility.
And I think that's one of the hardest things is that our children look up to us, regardless. No matter how much of a fuck up we think we are.
Yeah.
Our kids are looking up to us, like, wow, I want to be like that. I want to be like you.
Yeah.
I want to grow up, And you're just like, no, you don't. I tell my son now, he's 16, he's like, Dad, I want to be like you. No, you don't. You want to be better than me.
Yeah.
Don't be like me. I'm a fuck up. We all fuck up.
And
It's life. It's life. We learn from our mistakes.
It's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to happen. We're supposed to be screwed up. We're supposed to screw shit up.
Quit using that against people.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I try to tell my son. He's 16. He's still young, mad young, And so I was like, when I was his age at 16, I had already smoked as much weed as you can fucking imagine.
I had a drinking problem.
I slept with so many girls. Like, I couldn't even keep count of how many girls I slept with by the time I was 16.
And it was normal.
And it was a normal thing. You smoke weed, you have sex. You smoke weed, you have sex. And I told him, I said, don't do that, dude. Like, no. I said, like, save yourself for the right woman, because it's going to be much more appreciative when that time comes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to appreciate it that much more. Versus me, I'm just like, I don't know.
Exactly.
And it sucks, dude. It sucks, But like you said, we're breaking that cycle. We're understanding how to break that cycle of where we grew up. We don't want our kids to go through the same crap we went through. We always want better for our children. But what are we doing as parents to ensure that we provide the best that we can for our children? You know what I'm saying? How are we breaking that cycle? Whether it's divorce, whether it's unemployment, whatever the hell we're going through, we go through life. Life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens, and 90% of the time it sucks, and you have that 10% where it's just fucking amazing. You're enjoying life,
Yeah.
But 90% of it, sleeping, going on vacation, having family barbecues.
Yeah, trying to be somebody in your life.
Trying to be something and be more than what you think you can be.
Exactly.
And with what you're doing now here with the Civil Rights Matters, which is freaking awesome.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see this app. I'm excited to check it out because I felt like my shit was been infringed upon already before. I like to document that shit,
And quietly document it. It's
right.
And I will say, one thing I found with this app is a peace of mind to say, like, here is an app that hears you, okay? Here is an app that's not going to ask you why. Here's an app that's not going to say, well, did you deserve it? Here is an opportunity for you to document being infringed on. Okay, and let's use these words.
Right.
Okay, here is an app that you can document when you're being discriminated or you feel like somebody is trying to bend the rules in a way that's not appropriate, right? Mm. And this app isn't going to say, "Are you sure?" This app isn't going to be like, "Prove it."
Prove it. Prove it.
Well, did you ask for it?
Right.
Well, did you follow the procedure? This app is going to give you a peace of mind to say, one place in this world, what you're going through is going to be respected.
Right.
You don't got to tell anybody, but you can add advocates to your team. So if you do have people who see what you've been through, who can see it from your perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Add them into your advocacy team.
Right. Make
sure they're documenting for you too. Hey, bro, I also heard them say this. Thank God I'm not crazy. I recorded it. I put it in your timeline.
That's even better.
Become each other's advocates.
Right.
There's plenty of times when people have been discriminated against that I couldn't see it from their perspective.
Yeah.
I believed them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a reason to not believe you. I don't think you would just start trouble with somebody because it's a fucking Tuesday.
Right.
But at the same time, if I can't see it and you have other people who can and they're helping you build that timeline, we made it possible for you to share it, right? So then you can share it to that state representative. You can share it with an attorney. You can share it on social media in snippets to show the effects. This is where I started. This is where I ended. And these are all the things that happened, right? That's what us being able to document your civil rights should do.
Right.
At the same time, a mental health spot to say, I'm going to stop screaming on social media so people will listen. I'm going to get smart and start documenting, and then I'm going to start posting on social media the truth.
Right.
Right? And that's what I hope this app does.
And that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I mean, like I said, you're doing a lot of amazing things. Like, you are busy.
Busy.
And that's what Lynda's just showing you, like, your civil rights. What is your civil rights? What are you allowed to do and what are you not allowed to do? And not only that, one of her passions is helping parents.
Yes.
Helping parents, because being a parent is hard.
It's all about getting your civil rights taken from you.
And supporting each other, right?
It is.
But you're supporting each other. That's her biggest goal with her nonprofit, is to help support.
It's to support parents.
Because that's the biggest thing, I think, within society in general. You don't have to be a veteran. You can be a civilian. Is how are you supporting each other? Yeah. We're always barking at each other, yelling at each other, pissed at each other because so-and-so doesn't believe what I believe in. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay for me not to believe in what you believe in. I'm not going to force my beliefs on you. Don't force your beliefs on me. But let's work together so that we can ensure that our society is going to function. Yeah. That it's going to be good. You know what I'm saying?
Or, like, telling people you're being discriminated against is fine. And them not being able to hear you, like you said, is fine, too, because we all have different experiences. Yeah. We're all growing. We're just now in 2021 in an age where we can publicly say we're being discriminated. Right. Maybe our generation will be able to see it from other people's perspective, and that's what we're learning right now. But the reality is I think more people want to. Right. And how do we do that? I can't live in your brain. I can't experience things from you can. But every time something happens to you, and it gives you that feeling of like, this should not happen to me. Yeah. That's you saying your civil rights are being violated. Right. That's your internal compass inside of you saying, somebody's treating me badly. Right? Right. At that moment, take a picture. Right. Record something. Absolutely. Time, date, stamp it. Figure out what you're trying to accomplish and why it's not possible, and you will find your discrimination. Right. And instead of bitching at people and screaming at people and yelling at people to believe you, you can now show them
that this is what happened.
This is what's happening to me.
This is what's happening to me. I have it all documented. I'm showing you now instead of, you know what I'm saying? It's about coming together and supporting each other. That's the biggest problem with society right now. Everybody's hating each other on whatever, you know, the color of my skin, my sexual preference, my whatever the hell it is, my rights, my civil rights. People are always hating on each other. That's one of the biggest things we're struggling with in America right now, is that we're all about bitching and complaining because somebody doesn't agree with us. Yeah. But now you're providing it. Well,
let's get even.
Let's get even.
I believe you. Like I'm team civil rights. Like, I believe you.
I believe what you say is going on.
Battle.
Right. I believe what you got going on. But let's have documentation showing it.
The only people we should ever fight that hard is our government. And our founding fathers said that.
Government. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to fight the most, is our government, because our government. I was reading an article the other day, and this was in regards. I've been looking to research to see when the Senate's going to vote on the MORE Act to legalize cannabis across the nation. Yes. Because when that happens, then I can smoke again. Yeah. And so I'm very excited, right? You know, priorities, right? And I was reading an article, and these senators that have legalized cannabis in their states said they're going to vote no against this bill because they're still against cannabis. And I'm like, hold on. Didn't we vote you in the office to speak for us? Yeah. Like I said, the government's not there to help us. By any fucking means, the government's not there. They're there to get rich. That's the only reason they're in Congress.
Well, remember, they're there to govern us. Right. Okay? And those policies they're governing us from are from like the 1900s. Right. You're all being discriminated against, okay? Stop. Just stop. These policies were made during a time where most people did not have the rights they have today. Right. Absolutely. So or didn't really understand or read or know what the rights were. So I would like to see, you know, from my standpoint, the way I think about things right now is like that senator we elected who's no longer speaking to us or on our behalf like we elected him to. What are our rights in order to be able to get him out of office? Right. Do we know that? Absolutely. Could we document this and say, you know what, Senator? this is what I voted on. I documented your campaign. You said you were going to do this, this, and this. And this is what you didn't do. And this is what you're doing right now. That is what you said you wouldn't do. And this is our proof. And the policy says that we can vote you out of office for doing this. So now we can actually be proactive and take steps instead of sitting here bitching and saying, well, I voted him and he didn't do anything about it.
Right.
Let's take steps.
Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. And this is what we're talking about. It's like I tell you guys, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us veterans are big, you know, anti-government type fucking people.
We try not to be, but
they did it to us. But they made us like that because we're like, hold the fuck on, dude. Like, I voted you in office because you said you were going to do this, this, and this, and you ain't done anything you said you were going to do to help benefit me as your voter. And like when I read that where they said, well, I'm not going to vote yes on it. Why? I said, I've got Rico over at Veteran Action Council. He wrote the green paper and submitted it to the Veteran Health Administration showing the medicinal benefits of cannabis, what the medicinal benefits are with veterans using cannabis. And he submitted it, and I was like, this needs to get in every senator's hand because the biggest thing is education, right?
Yes.
Especially with the civil rights, right? With the app, right? Is educating yourself. If we can ensure that this piece of paper, the 60-page document, gets into their hands and they read it, actually fucking read the documentation showing the medicinal benefits of cannabis. Now when they go to vote, they can make an educated vote versus saying, well, the government told me it's bad and I'm not going to vote on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The government said it's bad, I'm going to vote no for it. Wait. Why are you voting no? Because the government told me.
Yeah.
No. Did you educate yourself on the information, right? Hence civil rights app, right?
Exactly.
Have you educated yourself? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know why you're voting for what you're voting for? Do you know what you're documenting, ensuring that you're documenting it correctly?
Yes,
right?
exactly. And being able to get you in contact with other advocates who feel the same way.
Right.
I'm not the only one who feels this way.
Right.
Right? The whole world is all about networking right now.
Right.
That's what everybody's doing.
That's the biggest thing is network, is how to network, right?
Yeah.
It's huge. Networking
what
is huge.
if we could put that person experiencing discrimination, let's say racial discrimination, okay, against a person of color? What if we could take that person and put that story into the hands of Black Lives Matter? We can now have that opportunity to bring us together.
Right.
Right? To say, look, there is a community of people, you're not alone. Because somebody shouldn't be committing suicide because they're being discriminated against, regardless if I could see it or not.
Right.
But at the same time, we should have a moral obligation to each other to say, look, I don't see it, but these people might.
Right.
These people could help you.
Right.
And maybe then they could help educate me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I didn't grow up black.
Right.
I don't know how to discriminate against or document for somebody who's being discriminated against because of their color. I've never been discriminated against because of my color in that way.
Right. And you don't,
so I
because
had
you
to
don't
believe
understand.
them, right? And the first thing was to believe them.
Right.
All right, I believe you. Let's document this. And then once documenting happened, you found what is it called? A pattern, right? And there was always a pattern. And we wanted to be able to show that for in the realm where people couldn't see it. Voting records when it comes to senators, right? That's a huge one.
Right.
Parents, people of color, LGBTQ, all of those were the same. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. It's kind of a baby, like a little baby of mine, because nobody could ever see it when I was being discriminated against.
Right.
That didn't make it not happen.
Right. Absolutely.
That didn't make it go away either. But being able to document it did a fuck ton for me.
Right.
Because now I'm not crazy.
Absolutely. Because
right.
now you're providing it. Now you're providing that for everybody else now that are feeling as though that their civil rights are being impeded on, you know? And so, which is awesome. I mean, with you doing this app, with you doing A Child's Worth, Furnishing Fatherhood, like, you got a lot of fucking shit going on. And you got a lot of shit going on, but you're helping people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still figuring it out too, so
she's figuring it out, but
I'm gonna get with the architect. Okay?
Get with Travis. Get with Travis over there because he will be able to help. It's like I tell you guys, if you have a nonprofit and you're trying to figure the shit out, definitely check out Travis Johnson. I talk about him on damn near every show because this guy, he's a Navy vet. He's active duty Navy right now. He grew up in the nonprofit world. He was less fortunate. He had nonprofit supporting him, providing meals for him, like what you're doing at A Child's Worth, doing these things, and he figured, why not get into the nonprofit realm? And he knows, I mean, anything and everything, how to provide funding, how to get funding, and how to run a nonprofit, because it's a job in and of itself. It's its own job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because look at me, because there are nonprofits out there like.
Everybody needs us, but that doesn't mean they want to fund you.
They don't want to fund you.
They
right?
want to see all the goodness you can do.
Right.
And they're like, good luck with the funding.
Absolutely, and it's hard because you got people like Wounded Warrior Project, multi-million-dollar organization.
Well, and also when you get into the nonprofit world, you find out like there's certain types of organizations that get all of the funding.
Right.
Veteran organizations, women organization, children organization. I'm over here helping dads and parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like, fuck dads and parents. You know,
Right.
tell them to go get a job. And I'm like, they do.
They got a job.
I'm talking about all of the parents who do have jobs.
Who are trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Who are trying to make it, you know what I'm saying? And for you guys that are here in Oklahoma, like, I don't know how far out you go. I know she's doing the Oklahoma Metro more, Norman, Oklahoma City.
All the way up to Edmond, Piedmont. I'll go anywhere for a parent.
For a parent,
I'm not gonna even
she's all
lie.
over. She's all over Oklahoma.
I've gone all the
And
way
if
to
she
Connecticut for a parent.
And if she doesn't, she may know somebody in the area that
Absolutely.
can assist you guys that are in that area that are trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to do.
Before you go to the state.
Before you go to the
get an
state.
attorney, before you go to DHS, if you are at that pivotal point to find support,
Yeah.
run to somebody in the nonprofit realm. Myself, if you're a parent, if you're a veteran, there's tons of people, but stop running to the state first.
Yeah, don't run to the state. Quit running to the state.
If you're thinking about going through a divorce, come see me first. Talk to me. Call me.
Absolutely, because she'll be able to help you and help assist you in what you're doing and stuff like that.
And it's free.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. You're not paying out of pocket for any of it, man. And this is what Lynda's doing. Lynda's doing some amazing, you're doing some phenomenal
appreciate
shit.
that.
You're doing some awesome
Thank
shit.
you.
And you as a parent, she's a parent too that's doing all this shit on top of being a parent. So she understands what you guys are going through.
I do.
Trying to go to work, trying to provide for your family. Life's
Lower
hard.
those bills.
Life's hard.
Yeah.
Life's hard. It's hard.
I'm not saying my way is any easier, but I am saying there's a community here that cares.
Absolutely.
It is free. You can still go through the bullshit you're going to go through, but you're going to have support.
Absolutely.
Right? And we're not here to tear you down, either of you.
No.
And if you go the opposite direction, you can pay $20,000. You can go get yourself a whole bulldog attorney. They could tell you how to be a parent, and you can live this great life,
Right.
depending on other people to protect you.
Right.
Or you could build a support system and learn how to co-parent and do what's best for your kids.
Right, with the whole yeah, absolutely, with the co-parents. Like I tell you guys on every episode, is that you have to build your community around you.
Yes.
Who are you bringing in around you to help support you, help lift you up when your days are dark, when the fucking it's just too damn hard, and I just can't do it no more.
And if that person is your attorney,
No, you're
wrong.
You're wrong.
You got mental health problems.
You know what I'm saying?
If that person is your angry mom who also was a single mom who's like, you got this and fuck him, you got mental health problems surrounding you.
Right.
There's plenty of people, it's 2021, who have gone through a divorce and don't hate their exes.
Right, absolutely.
And if you're still hating your ex, it's just you, bro.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, guys. That's why I always say build your community around you and what you want to do. Like I said, the demons come.
Yep.
And they kick you in the ass. They kick you in the
Every
ass
time.
when you're having a good day. They'll kick you right in the nuts and just be like.
I think it's their job.
And then you're just like, fuck, dude, why now? Why now?
Yeah.
Why do I got to deal with this? And it sucks. But we're grown ass adults. Life happens. We're not kids anymore. Where life is everything is fun and joyful. We have responsibilities. We have things that we have to do to survive in this world because that's what it is. It's a survival in this world. How long can you make it, and how are you going to make it comfortable for yourself?
Exactly.
Trying to keep yourself grown, Like I said, guys, if you guys here in Oklahoma, hell, anywhere, honestly, you can always reach out to Lynda. I'll have all her contact information down below in that description box below, man. So you can reach out to her. Donations, because any nonprofit, that's how they function, is with donations from you guys supporting our veteran community. She's an Army vet. She's National Guard, but I mean,
I did half-ass the thing. So,
But she is a vet. She's a sister. She signed that same dotted line that said, "I got your ass." Like, I ain't gonna let nobody shoot you in the back while you're taking a shit.
It is, and
You know what I'm
just
saying?
because I'm able to do two things at once, and you can only do one, doesn't make me any less a veteran. I built a whole ass civilian career and military career. Your ass can only focus on one thing.
It is what it is. But that's what it is, guys. Is building your community, man. Like I said, I'll have all her information in the description box below. Like I said, don't forget to hit that daggum subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button so you know every freaking time these episodes come out. And don't forget to give me a 5-star review on iTunes, I guess. I don't know how the algorithm works with that. But share it with people, man.
I'm still figuring it out.
Let
me know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me know when
you should let me know. You're younger than me by far, so you should be able to know this shit by now.
I spend most of my days doing home remodels,
No shit.
Okay? Like, I'm still trying to figure out TikTok.
You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But I mean, like I said, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this
Thanks
Friday.
for giving me another opportunity.
Tuesday. Oh, absolutely. I'm glad you came back, man. Like I said, she's part of my community. Like, I'm always talking to her. We always talking. We always got, wherever we can, like I said, guys, you guys have to grow your community. It's like she said, it's about networking. Who can help me when I need my help, when I need help? You know, regardless if it's a phone call at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
And you know, you're going to have no people in your life. People that you're going to realize aren't in your network.
Right.
Walk off and be okay with it.
Be okay with it and build your network with somewhere else. Build it with somebody else, somebody that understands what you're dealing with and what's going on in your life, man.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out on this Friday or Tuesday or whatever.
I hope you enjoyed what we had to say.
Hopefully with some benefit. Hopefully this audio came out better than the last one.
Shit.
You know?
And if you got any questions, because we unpacked a lot,
you
know, I don't think a lot of people are talking about civil rights matter in this way.
No, absolutely not.
So if you are just totally blown away by what you heard today and you want to know more, contact us.
Reach out to us. Let us know. Like I said,
let him know. He'll contact me.
I'll get in contact.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's my network, and you guys see everybody that comes on my show is all in my network now. Like I said.
And we're the same type of organization, so
absolutely.
We go right back around.
Right back around. We're always helping each other because nobody's going to support us like we can support our own. Mm-hmm. Right? That's what they taught you while you were deploying. If you ever deployed, if you didn't deploy, that's what they taught you. How do you support your own?
Yeah.
And that's what we do, support each other, man. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got you 6.
Smoke, chill, relax. It's Friday. You ain't got a job. We gon' get high today. Darker the flesh, the deeper the roots, greener the weed.